Hey, everybody, it's Bill. I'm having a little trouble getting in, but shall we begin?
Hi, Bill, sure. So let me just run through. We have DOS, DPS, Chart Unlimited, New York City, reps from Hudson River Fund, DEC, certificate holders, and Craig, I believe you're APA, correct?
Yep, I'm filling in for Dan Kelleher.
Great.
Just two housekeeping notes before we start, Bill.
Sure.
If I could just introduce Laurel. Laurel, could you just come in and say hi? Laurel's our new attorney at DOS.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Laurel. And just also a quick note, we're anticipating that the disaster declaration is no longer extended after, I believe it was this week. So it's likely that we'll be needing to switch to in-person meetings for the next round.
Yeah, great.
I just want to note, Matt, that this is Haley. I'm on for Scenic Hudson. I don't think you said my name.
You're the number ending in 6-2?
Nope, I'm on the WebEx.
All right, okay, great. Sorry.
That's good.
Well, it certainly sounds like we have a quorum. Matt, I'm not seeing the screen yet. I presume the minutes are the first item of business.
Yep, one moment to share that. Can everybody see the agenda being shared?
Yep, it's a little zoomed in, Matt, but we can see it.
All right, meeting minutes are up. To you, Bill.
Okay. They seemed good to me. Any comments? A motion to accept then?
So moved.
And a second? Great. Okay, no further debate. Let's call for a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are unanimously approved. What's next, Matt? The project update?
Just project update.
Okay. We got a lot to report there. I'll turn it over to Josh.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a nice summer. I'll be kind of brief here and then happy to answer questions. So things are moving along as we prepare for construction on the EM&CP process. As I think I've reported last time, we have filed back in April our first overland segment from Putnam to Whitehall, New York. That has been under review and response to comments, et cetera. There's been a kind of a long process, and I think we're in a position where we'll be able to respond to all outstanding comments, make some updates to the plan and profile based on some input from the DOT, and resubmit everything next week. That will hopefully allow for that EM&CP to be placed on the mid-October PSC agenda meeting, but of course that's outside of TDI's control. We will be filing our first EM&CP segment for the marine segment later in September. I think it will be filed in September. I just don't know exactly what date. That is for a single horizontal directional drill off of Stony Point, New York. So basically the land to water transition, Hudson River to land in Stony Point, New York. That is the first activities that will happen in the water, construction related, which is performing HDD. So they do the horizontal directional drill, they install conduit, and then they come back roughly a year later and pull the cables through it. Now, those HDDs tend to be time consuming, so they're trying to get a jump on that and get those started. On other regulatory news, there are two petitions On the agenda for this week's PSC meeting, our Section 68 petition and our Section 69 petition. So there will be decisions made on those later this week, we expect, from the PSC. We also have, as folks know, submitted to the PSC the executed trust documents. Unclear exactly what meeting those will be, ruled on, but those are in with the PSC at this point. As it relates to surveys, in-water surveys, we have started those. We have completed the first phase of our sturgeon survey, which happened back in June, where we tagged 50 adult sturgeon in the Hudson River. Our consultant, in collaboration with the DEC, I understand that went very well. They're now in the second phase of that survey. We have completed our TSS trials in Lake Champlain and in the Hudson River. Those are trials where we have physically put the installation plow in the water, and we pull it behind the barge for between 1,000 and 2,000 feet. And then we take samples of turbidity and other constituents. I was actually on board for the Lake Champlain surveys last week, and the Hudson surveys were last Friday. I'll let you know that on the Hudson surveys, we did a lot more survey than was required by our permits. We created a additional survey protocol in partnership with the Hudson 7 to replicate a water intake occurring in the Hudson River. So there was a tremendous amount of work over the past year to get that protocol figured out. And the Hudson 7 was kind of part of the survey last Friday, every step of the way. We do not have the results from any of these trials yet, but I will say that they were done according to the permit. And we're pleased that we were able to kind of come to an agreed upon protocol with the Hudson 7 and work with them, in the field when the actual surveys took place. So a lot of work by a lot of people to pull that off. There are additional surveys that are going to be going on, benthic surveys, bathymetric surveys in those waterways. We are doing and have been doing all summer subsurface investigations and identification of infrastructure that crosses the Hudson and Harlem rivers. That was already done for Lake Champlain last summer. So a lot of prep work in the water. On land, we're doing a lot of survey work. Most of that is done, but there's some still outstanding survey work going on. For example, we're doing Carner blue butterfly surveys this week, which is a requirement of our permit as well. All of this is gearing up for a financial close, which we expect later this fall. That is that combined with an EM&CP approval are really the key things we need to start construction. But we are now targeting construction in November. I don't know exactly when, up in northern Washington County. So that is the plan. Things happen that change plans, but we feel like we're on a pretty good track. What that means for the trust is that we would be funding the trust, I would think, if all goes as planned, by the end of this year, and putting our first installation payment or our first payment into the trust at that point. I think things with NYSO are generally going well, if not wrapped up, but Bill can add any points to that. And so that's where we are from the CHPE construction / regulatory / environmental trust side. And I will leave it at that and see if people have questions.
Josh, I'll just add a couple of details.
Hey, Bill, you're a little choppy. Maybe turn off your video to increase your bandwidth.
Thank you. I just wanted to make the point that we haven't yet signed the trust documents. We decided to wait until PSC approval, which we hope will be no later than October. And the NYSO process is going well. It does seem to have slipped a little bit. It looks like they're going to wrap up the class year in November. And that means the moment of truth in terms of our posting of a letter of credit for the Astoria Rainy Cable and other upgrades will arrive before the end of the year. Speaking of the Astoria Rainy Cable, we are working with Con Edison and NYPA and the NISO with respect to we're calling it an interconnection agreement at Rainy. It's kind of an EPC agreement for upgrades down at the Rainy substation across from Roosevelt Island. And I concur with your view that we'll be funding the trust perhaps as early as mid-November, but certainly before the end of the year.
All right.
This is Jake Goodman for the city. Just a quick question. Thanks for the update. It was all clear. Just to confirm, it sounds like you have a high confidence that the financial closing will happen relatively soon, and that trust funding will start, as you, Josh and Bill just said, by the end of the year. And I'm just asking, even though it's been answered, to be sure that, again, you have a high confidence in this, because I know from time to time we look out and anticipate when closing might happen, and understandably, these events can be difficult to pinpoint, so that date can change. So the question really is just confirming that now it seems likely, if I'm hearing correctly, that by the end of the year you will have closed and put the first slug of funding into the trust. Is that correct?
Yes, I would
Yes.
say that it is likely, Jay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a chance that something unexpected could happen, whether,
Sure.
directly related to this project or external to this project that could affect this project. So that obviously kind of goes without saying. But we've gone through the vast majority of the, I think we've de-risked this to the financial close and the funding of the trust quite well. Our contractors are also all set at this point. There will be likely in the coming week a public announcement about that. So yes, I'd say it's likely.
And the other good news to report is the permitting process on the Canadian side seems to be meeting the schedule that we need to maintain our construction schedule. So, we're seeing a lot of green lights along the track here. Yeah, Jay, I think we can cautiously, state that we're hoping to close maybe before the end of October. We'll see.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Josh, you addressed the ongoing studies, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Should we turn it over to the foundation to talk about the technical working groups?
That's fine. I'm here. This is John. Thanks very much. I want to keep it brief this morning as well, but I want to start by thanking the folks who have been essentially the leads for the technical work groups. Over the summer, we've interacted with all three, including Nicole for Lake Champlain, Heather for the river, and Jay for the city. And that process has been interesting and certainly informative for us. Recall that we had put out that template a while back, and all three groups have accumulated information relative to the continued priority for projects and beginning to think through what a scoping might look like. And we're at the stage now where we're using those templates in a little bit of an iterative process to push back and say, potentially ways to flesh them out a little bit better and to give more information about that. And I think that process, as I said, has been certainly useful for the foundation. I hope it's been useful for the folks who have been feeding information to those templates as well. There's been some real progress, and I think overall we'll be able to take the next step as we move into the fall to get them into a more uniform comparable format for the ETGC to take a look at as we move into the next phase of this project. I would say the other thing that's been really helpful is a series of meetings. I know that staff here have met, Jim in particular, with Jay a number of times. We've had really good meetings with the folks from like Champlain. Nicole's been great, as well as Heather from DEC. So there's a lot of information gathering going on now. What I would say is, and I think at the risk of being repetitive, ultimately the governance committee is going to make some decisions on when the funding is in, what are the priorities, and how do we develop a 5-year implementation plan for that first amount of money that comes in over that 5-year interval. And this will be the fodder for those decision-making processes. And our intent is to, when we meet in December, to talk a little bit more, particularly as we have greater surety when the funds are going to be here, about what decision-making should like. And you'll have to, as a group, decide what kind of process you're going to use, but we'll try to present you with some models that build on things we've been talking about for the last year or so. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But again, thank you to the folks that have already been working on those templates, and we anticipate additional work in the coming months.
Great. Any questions for Foundation? Okay, we're going lickety split here. What are the action items, Matt? Are there any left?
No, I don't think we have any left. Just note that barring any significant changes, the next meeting will be in person. I think Heather, you said you had the boardroom scheduled.
That's correct. It's the 20th and the 19th floor boardroom will be available. If anyone wants to attend in the New York office, please let me know and I can try to arrange that as well.
This is Sita from DEC. I just want to confirm that there will still be call-in capabilities.
Yes, of course. We'll have a WebEx.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're only in attendance by WebEx, you can't count towards the quorum, I believe, right? Heather?
I think that's right. But listen, this is gonna be a party. We'll have a quorum.
I have a question. This is Tracy Brown from Riverkeeper. When will and what will the format be of sharing out the results of the surveys?
Hey, so hi Tracy, it's Josh from TDI. I don't know specific for the Hudson 7 collaboration we've been working on, and I know you've had folks from your team on that as well. But really, that will be fed into the EMNCP for those segments, and that'll be the venue that I'm pretty sure it will be shared in. I don't know if there's something sooner than that. So that's what I would say.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is Jay. Quick question. So understanding that at the next meeting, remote attendees won't count towards a quorum, can they still vote? Will their vote be counted, or are they just treated as essentially?
I think they can vote. I think you need if you're doing an in-person meeting, you need bodies to solve the quorum. But if you're participating remotely, I think you can vote. Why don't we add that as a takeaway item as we transition, Matt, from virtual meetings to real meetings, to check the governance agreement, and we'll report on that before the next meeting.
Yeah, and Bill, I mean, this is Josh. I don't know if I'm speaking for other folks who are not in the Albany area. But you know, there's people from the city. I know Hudson River Foundation's in the city. There's a lot of people not really close to Albany. And as much as great as it is to see everybody in person, it also can save people, you know, a half a day to a full day of travel for an in-person meeting. So I don't, you know, I'm not sure. I'm a little worried that we're not going to get a quorum where people are going to spend an entire day going to a meeting that could be half an hour long. So I just kind of put that concern out there.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, unless and until we amend the governance agreement, whatever the rules of the road are, we will follow. And we'll take that as an action item to sort of advise as to the question Jay raised and maybe make a recommendation, Josh, that if needed, we adopt an amendment to the governance committee, governance agreement, which of course has to go to the PSC. But it's a good point. I mean, if you're trying just to get the people in the immediate area, you probably do have a quorum, but maybe not on a particular day. So we'll produce an advisory on that, folks.
So Bill, if I remember correctly, though, I don't know that the in-person attendance is part of the governance agreement, but the OML. And Heather, if you need, Banky, if you can jump in, maybe if you have any knowledge on this specifically.
That's right.
Um,
It's the open meetings law. You're right. You're right.
Right. So I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm admittedly not an attorney, but I think there is a mechanism where we can allow for remote attendance, but it has to be in very specific situations, and there has to be a vote by the board, and I believe you have to disclose your location.
Yeah, and in the past, we got around this by having offices in New Paltz and, the APA offices available for the video conferencing to link in. So I'll go back and review all that and see, what procedures we need to enact here to get back into
It would be
person.
great to have the New Paltz location, Region 3 office available again. That was much more convenient for me.
Understood. I think we should be able to work that out.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
And Craig, I'm assuming APA as well, you'd want that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks.
And that's
locations.
Matt, that's Raybrook, right? The Raybrook office?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
New Paltz is not Raybrook.
No, but APA is.
APA is.
Okay, yeah, they're next to us.
Okay. If there's no further business, shall we do a motion to adjourn until our last meeting of the year?
Hey, Bill, this isn't really business per se, but if I could just take advantage of having all the years available to me now. I was left off of the meeting invite for this. It looked like there's an old distribution list that included Nate Chumley, who's no longer with my firm and did not include me. So I would just ask for everyone to be sure that their distribution lists are up to date for New York City representation by including me, just to ensure that I have timely notice of future meetings and any other communication there might be.
Sorry, Jay.
Thank
That's
you.
my fault. I apologize.
No problem. No problem. Thanks, Matt.
Okay. We got it done. It looks like in half an hour. That's great. Next time it'll probably be longer, which is a good thing.
I'll make that motion, Bill, by the way.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Second, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. We stand adjourned until our final quarterly meeting, and I think you'll all be able to follow up on project developments, probably in the media. As Josh points out, there's going to be an announcement about the status of our construction arrangements pretty soon. So until then, we will progress on and see you all in December. Thank you, everybody.
Roger has his hand up. I don't know if that's still a thing.
Okay. Hey, Roger. You're on mute. Roger?
Maybe he was just saying aye.
Aye, that's probably aye. Roger, we're going to give you one more minute till 11 o'clock to speak. I'm checking the chat. I don't see anything. Okay. What do you think, Matt? Shall we adjourn?
I think so. Let's adjourn.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.